Hello, friends. Welcome to day 19 of Journaling Together. We're 3 weeks in. And if you're just new, welcome. You're not too late. We're just going to free write, but I would like to share a little something before we start today. And it is a technique that I learned in my 20s. And I wanted to share that because I think it's relevant to what we're going through today, and I do hope that it's helpful. When I was young, I really wanted to be successful. So I worked at McDonald's and worked my way into a corporate environment. And when I was socializing, interacting with my peers, I realized very quickly that my level of education was not in par with theirs. And I became very embarrassed. And as a way to cope, and as a way to fit in, and as a way to belong, I began to fabricate things, whether it was if I had an understanding of something or experience in it. I would lie and say, yes, I did. Yes, I do. And one day I was caught red-handed in one of my fabrications, and the person was so gracious, and clearly their intention was to share in a moment, and they realized that what was happening, and they were very generous and moved the conversation forward. But I was mortified, and I didn't want to feel that way anymore. So I decided that instead of having this knee-jerk reaction to exaggerate or fabricate, that I would instead allow myself to be vulnerable and to ask more about that situation, to be honest. No, I've never read that. Can you tell me about it? Or I've never been there. I would love to. What's it like? And what happened was I learned a lot, and the person was always happy to share in their experience. So how does that relate to today? So what I'm sensing is that we're all having these different experiences, and we're really trying to be optimistic and a source of calmness for our families and for ourselves, really trying to restore our energies. And what we can do is have some planned responses. For example, if you are really trying to avoid talking a lot about the coronavirus or exposure to news or politics, and someone is trying to communicate or share recent news and updates, you can gently, and that's the key word, gently say, I appreciate that you're trying to share with me, but I'm trying to expose myself less to that for my own well-being. And you find the words that work for you with the person that you're communicating with. We all have our way of saying things. But I think the key here is to be very gentle, because remember, we're not taking anything personally. And that might be this person's way of de-stressing, right? They might want to share and need to share. So however it works, you can decide that you will catch up later, or just let them know that you're not in a place for that. Gently. If you are having some internal stressors, you can always revert back to some planned responses like, am I taking this personally? Am I actively listening? Is my body language showing that I'm interested in what they're saying? Or do I need to ground myself? Do I need to separate myself from this? Whatever response, because your situation is going to be different, right? I know the kind of repetitive things that happen here that I can then imagine happening and then develop a planned response that I could use to serve in that moment, that will be received compassionately, delivered compassionately, and received well. So I think that's something I wanted to share with you. I did write an article about this with my story. It goes into more depth. I'll put it on so that you can see how it changed my life. And I hope that this is another skill or tool that you can utilize during this time to bring you more calm, more peace, more internal groundedness and wellness. So, with that, I just want to thank you again, and I will just start the timer so we can begin our free writing. This is just very open, non-judgmental writing that we do just to see what is underneath the first layer of thoughts, of thinking. It's a direct conversation with ourselves. And we are very wise, and we already know what's right, wrong, and what we need. So here we go.